Samno said yes, it here, young fansom.
Yes, some no say every 15 Mantamo Central Region. Na 15 Mantamo Central Region, ya call Honomoa. And I know ya bomb Kaseɛ, a be Kaseɛ, ewo TV, any radio sunina. Send a nanumbia, one more I watch for him, my traditional area, or more mountain in some betuja. Some secret penny for fryer bonity, ewo Honomono. Bam so, one more empeno. Adaya papa iba wa bano. Omo hu se de kokromotie ene bedi nanim kan fi se na nanom frɛ no se womra na nanom tra ankonya so a tra ase a opanyi wama enti sa na tie de a His Excellency Jubilee House Megide Sarawuta na do danko akufo ade wabɔ ba mani din ontie na wo hu se omo mpɛ no so ba ba DC wo ho na ade achi ye ade no adane asam no adane ayefoforo ene se ade hye bia wo mo atwifo himan traditional area Fifi mantem ho wo mo babonten wo se asem ni nyina no wo mo de wo nyi ntum nya sa na tie na emom no mra se badwani a wo ho no mo ene oman hene a oba abonten ne dom otufo amwasasa kuro otoso enan ene o maka abomu ene o mo hyehye ase o mpese eye DC yo mo de ba no yenyi no entumu na we nyina no eye otahunu arakwa abakoma hema ematwifo heman traditional area nana abranya kwa otoso mi no one is central focus
yes you belong to the royal by the family of Tufuhiman I am Messi Wagi and ye kasa ye nu abema bia a friend Kofi Sense Napoleon Asante Bundi so nko epiem mutwa adwan gu ne so e ka so monyi ntu person ne say adentina say bi kro muni na nyame ye na dom ne ato asam ne ma na bama no na wonje ne ntu say wo ko epiem wa kro muni because Kofi Sense ayo obi a na nana akoje Roman fo asase de chama akoje presby de chama akoje Methodist fo baby obi akontena si bia onyi ame de be develop for the IM stores obi aya na Kofi Sense wo akofia akoma afoma to omyem sebe Tufuhiman afo nim de waye ti no to aba no ma na sabiem de ebo aba so nana mo ne yo e say aba no deserve pa aduma waye o konso esini e de abo a party na say na wabo na aba so a yem wa mo so atimi abo aban din enam na aduma pa waye am so me ka say aba e ko kasa awo district assembly o epiem no say Highland state land nti no so na aba na akoka nti no e say so mo gina no so say member na Akufo Addo o makwan na aban o me DC say be me na ahema metie menim say ahema state land if you say me amasa asimpo am yeso adwuma me call lands commission say me kwa akodi document me call ya say na state land nti me ko totu yaka nti enye botaya ejina so say nti ya ma obi DC ya na me ya ntu we nti say onipa ne mu ade na chi ahema asofofo ina e dey say we assemblies of God sofo Assemblies of God asofo am wo Ghana am penny na me bisa no question we say your Assemblies of God sofo a odi hina utwa dwan bodua egu obi ne ba pampa so ana em say on abo bright o kugo be dey nyina yenim no o konso esiwa sabi anya ono ne dia ni kwan say you bia because why bebre amaye wo
enti nana abnanya ko otoso emienu abakoma hema Tufuhiman nananom atrankonya na abusua panyi ema adeche abrade abusua wo Tufuhiman ene nana yaw asamo otoso miensa o se His Excellency Jubilee House Megida Sarawuta na do danko Akufo Addo so enra ena na omusu fra wutwa adwan nyina ze papa no memfa ne mra no wo mo boa
Himamani yeshia ya bo abranti bi tin se o me DC wa e bo ni din fa kwa increase ni himamani ni agi obi aso abranti wi die ofata not a single person wa position na ya bo ni din se o mra me ye utie na se ni o hima kan ayina na kwatwe manfre wadi fo na ono apokrim no aseti odi stay of execution ed ade wa Tufuhiman traditional area ha oni ni nua mpi that bi ko gugu ena ye saade asem na wo mo ka se abrante na ayisi enya no kre mpanyi se na onim to ene ye de dia twefo abrante no ho wonsem anka ade na darada wan frem go wa mo no sa charge sabrante no ho wasem ana se yebeti manya himama nkwa ne fom assembly no denja fo kan nke se futu safre o mu nyina abo de charge etwaso ma ansa ni mani nyina nyi no so na wo de wo no onua no nkwa akọ ha nkofo ni metwome fo a wo munye himafo akofo mo baabi na anu makọhye kuku baabi aye press conference ndi anya no kure sabrante no bi atia na brante anya boni bia na brante no so o de ehwe obetuma aye adwuma nsema na nanu ebeka ya gontompo ni kure bia ni himama bia ni wa wutia brante no asem baako kura no wutia no onye boni ntia himaman mi dentia man ni a ewu onye boni ntia bia tie ma president mu se asema e ba mfra mema watin anya no kure brante no o mani nyina pem
Nana yaw asamu otoso miensa adehye abrade ana abrade dehyibusuya ewotwefo heman ena yakote ne no
ya ba konkoko na yegusu a said ye dikan de atomo anim no ya se suku ka bia konya nkwanhia na awiai ama je se awreho na ye piaman bofo na akwa miando obape ye di munchiremu ababa wonya ma ye die ye nkonkopiem ewo Ghana mrase odwafiem na mrase odwafiem wadakulu abato mbasia so wonu mrase odwani wonu onyafo kwame agbojagbovin's wona ekase na ne nsam ya waka 20 ase Ghana mapani na adanko akufu ado hwe no one ne dom titiriwu na asoafo ministers oni wonum ebu mai wonum hwe no wonum abre wonum sam na eden wonum a adawroma wonum fadi bra ne nto enya adwuma ne yonso de koje se omuro rosan no obi ampa babi nkonkotena santi a wonu nyafo kwame agbojagovin's waka nsam ye tese na ye mrase ojafiom soafo ya wo hwe akobadie ensam so minister of transport ura kwekofori asiama na oso ba mrase ojafiom na obeyi nsam bia no afei duruonum ne ye pepapa no a ye hunu na kira kwan no ntonchen so no zabra no a wonum efra setrase no na domkuni no wonuma ya wo mrase odwafiem eye edunson 17 ana domkuma no wonum eye nipa edunum mienu 52 minority members ana 17 majority members ana na mrase odwafiem na no ana wonunyafo agbojese na they say ye ka ahifo na minority na ahifo na majority woni a wonum yeso mu na edomkuma no wonum emudodo adionum mienu 52 ana na wa asetra sa abra mo ayefrem domkuni yesem na modoso no mo nkrofo nipa dunson pe jaza domkuni fo no pambra se defiem ba na akwadworo ne sabin kate ho ensem fatanko a enti wonde wo ka se adawroma mampani na adanko akufu ato wone ne dom said amamra ne se ye adwumaden no nya saa no onum ye no ondi amamu no edi agro.
The president can resign. He can actually resign before his term because there's nothing stopping him to doing so. If he's not even in the country, the ministers are not in the country. You said one of them called you at 11 p.m. and the leadership cannot be found. Mr. Speaker, meanwhile we have serious problems in this country. Serious problems. Very, very serious problems in this country. I know you are not a member of NPP, so you are also not happy. Mr. Speaker, do something about this.
Wey ya wononyafo kwame agbojogbogvins ya woye adakulu abato mbesa so mrase adwani anu o kire se abra oman no ye wo sembebre ye tete ye ne hayen na wose ye hwe kamrase adwafo kire se asetra no kokwasa na domkuni wonum ede eyo
yeko yensantwani Emmanuel Ajete eho owa homa no so na enkra a free eastern region atem kukrantumi eba eni se ohene etu na hemfo nkotoa so omunyina nchen efri na akro mom kogina baabi akenkenka amye fatini esi wo so wo munim no mote zoom na nate zoom ho de ene ne omutirate eba ne sen Emmanuel Ajete una be kire ma kire ni o ti aba ho
yo PSM me mo bibi ajo de ba promise TV ni promise FM so se obisam se den na esi ama eyeda sebre ye boama da ko autoso mienu ama watu na hemfo mienu ahodo makoma na ya de di kan sana hene de autoso biom ankobi ahene ana de autoso miensa ankobi ahene de otwato chidom de ke yenim senka ono ana na tu a nanka watiem otu no watiem obona na chidom na ene de na na for emergency meeting a ni nyina ne se ahemfo anan afa na se asese nyama ensem patanko a ana mo ye ditia atim kokrantumi eman no ene adonten a esom atim abuakwa traditional council osagefo amotio for penny ni nyina ne se sana hene no ye friend kwasi kwache grant otwa ensase ton ama wese waton aton university asase anananom ede ato honom ese da achibi omuba besi university ewo kokrantumi nananom asase so no waton asase ni nyina ama ehonsem aba bepie mu anvi honom ankobi ahene ne na ankobi ahema enso esi omo ahemfo ene omo ahema afo wo se omo piem ana omo tenase no ma ahemfi omo esi omo ahemfi no ma se omo bodwa nanane ada aso ne na gu abonten na chidomhene enso efwa sa nyama we nyina so nyama ekoso ewo kokurantumi ema kokurantumi emfa ne ntoma pa emfra nyina no eye da sebre boama da kon otoso mienu transe ehwe din no se da bi nananom omadi ne hwamo o kire ma o se sanahene bedi ade eye be mfie be de ohonie no akonta di akonta papa pie no no ma sanahene abebu ade akire no na empo obobo sika bi so ama eye sanahene etimi ba edi musika no emu 10,000 Ghana cedis ede by say osre nananom omomfa nche ne sika ni na de aka no eye 30,000 Ghana cedis no obe return omabona ebe kan dey anana efre emergency meeting ya owanti me amfesika na ma nana kirem se ono ade a wo ye ahemfo kan ni nyina so emfantu omhofo se obi bia obedi ni hwamo obe na adwe so odemra ne be che ne nsem ode na didie ebe hunehuna nkrofo beje nkrofo nsem sika de enya de a ebi besi ewo achim kokratumi nananom asase so biom enti ode kokobo ema na hemfo kan no so omonhwe omho so ye na mini abade ewo mu aya rewosem na ewo mu na ni kan se nana ebopo we nyina no oni obi ansusu ho ene ofre emergency meeting aye se ba aye no na se eye putupuru aye obi a enwanwa nkobia hima na ewo mu oba besi ana owo mu no opo nani na nisuo ewa nana aka kire se omamu eye bosome mienu abusia panifo a ewo abusia sa awatu omu nyina mu no omfa adehye kokro efa mekire no na onsa inside enkire no eti mini abase obisa me achim kokrantumi ya esi ewo ho no
sa so cha baby anyo sense ton ho nyina so adidi ho hanso sa anti cha nanam cha
no ne de anu ohio University land ayi ato
na se eni etranton wankasa
mumesi school no mbotom
eno na ke eyesa ke benya som jikrofo so be suo pa e won sa se ton ho eno anye ye na ankran area ho nso dia na ato blow so ne se kantwa edua bobo tire bobo asum bobo karate bobo ne ne ekeka ho enti we di omafo obe oma tonton sa ase ne ye bi besiri o bibobo se pa yo Emmanuel Ajete kai ko keri woya de ene wo mani bon
we Promise Radio and Promise Television anyumre no nsia nsema do ya yensaka ana Kaseɛ kwanso yɛde mamona sɛ de yɛdi kan de ato mu anim dada sɛ apuemantem okoko we kura de nkɔkɔ na nkɔkɔ no amanebo ya yensa ka kyerem sɛ na suku ka bi akwa akonya nkwanhia ma suku mofra ba sensia de yesusu sɛ wonum ya ahwere won kwa ne sa enkran kumase kwantempo nso nkɔkɔ ene ye kan na yenua na kwa miando aba manso yenhwɛ na yenyin kyerem mfiri nkyɛn na na atimenka
dema na metunka
amanebo ye nya ne fiani o share video no bra Promise Radio Facebook uba Promise Radio Facebook school my friend bi ne ade wo mato stretcher so twu mu koya na asamo na kwa me wadama boye nkyeremu ai
yo bema ebe boss ebe no mienu eye na wie yi ena yɛhyɛ ase anya ne ntie sɛ asɛm bi asi ɛwɔ ɛyɛ nkɔkɔ na nkyea bypass no so bypass no yɛ ɔkwan foforɔ a ɛbɔ ho mmienu a mampani kofo bɛyi yɛ na ɔmpɛ sɛ ɛyɛ traffic bɛbɔ apɛsi wɔ nkɔkɔ township no nti yɛyi to nkɔkɔ n'akyi a sɛ wofiri Kumasi bɛsen kɔ Nkran na ɔmpɛ so bɛdi traffic so ɔbɛtwam direct saa so na wofiri Nkran so bɛsen akɔ Kumasi na ɔmpɛ so bɛdi traffic so akɔfa nkɔkɔ kuro no mu a na watwam direct de akɔ na kuro baako a ɛwɔ hɔ no ɛde nankyea na mantia ho no nenne wie school bi e won kokokom ho abro no bi e frɛ ne sɛ Esubone White House a school yi din e de Ampia Memorial Preparatory School Hyundai Grace bi omde ayomu school bus sɛ de ne mu school nkwala pon ma ya fa nkwala yi ene Ghana school bus wa oni sɛ de tie nkwala yi e bi tete so mienu no ne me nsa so ahye seat yi nyina mu ma eni se odu na ntia ho a yesi o se de kwan ne tie no 2 ko finkran ko Kumasi 2 so free Kumasi besia konkran na nam se ye hye dance si ho nye ho papa bia se ha no kra ka betnya ye U10 ana bibi me the traffic ni ade asi nti se wan kasa o ba utimi ya hwe ya because sometimes no me kra bi am kita car na moto na me de ba aye se me tete okwan no ho na mo so obi ama na ma ye ntema bu asim na ko cross way na ko fa ha that kind of kwan bi na ye experience wa ha ene fofi ankoto ata se DC bi owo asante mantemu eye ne V8 ya Nissan 4x4 yo mukitei running into eye Hyundai Grace ya fa mofre ya brapani eseweni ense okache so hwe footage sa media sene no a ene enyan papa cha se madam ono kra tigate na no akwala na bilu fie ne oyi na ama ono no obeyi akwala na sifom no ono kra de si ameno ka ze de dan kran enkwala no so wone a wo hu se na dwumadi ne ko na edi kan ko to mo so no boy amana nche se o man kasa kra sasa enkwala no be ha mani nka be se be so ne ko no nkron so edugu pragem so mo ni kan fo mo nko hospital sa enkwala no nya dia no mo te asesa enti na chere se wo hwe mu a ya nti asem de enenyan
na o si DC bi ka ene ko ball school bus no
sa pepepe na yenya na enti a ye bomodin si betimi cross check because ye koduru ono na driver na ne omo mote sa 4x4 no de obi ene waka na menu na apra kogu amna ne mti sa particular car na de na obi a enti ba enti ya yenya ne say because sha sa 2021 sa Nissan 4x4 ya ye de ma DC fui ebi na osha na osha stickers e bo ho na na je say betimi aye aban pani bi na nti yeguso aye probi we say you know who exactly that car belongs to DC kwa ene dia na
sa car no da so da menenu bia na wo bia na
can who be o sha footages no a obo say footage bi ama send no aye say wura kakra bi mu a car me nu bi
ena kan ba baby say ba bi ehun say car si me nu we ya baako de apim baako to pay kwan no eno no ana say accident na tu wo no ndum ko she
na movie o mu nyina free kwan no so dia ko gu ho no kwan no de dual carriage ye two
lanes
two ko na two so besen
ya samu
de me pese me tim man pani tie ne say yema oman we mu yenya serious kitwe bi yenya serious kitwe bi san say sa bia ye ho accident we see ye no school bi wo ho ye friend hour of power people school no so wo ho e no so sa junction no so and you can imagine the risk and sa na ntia junction no so no mpanifo ni nti make aye omuti na ntia junction no so ya na articulator bi no mu ne ma bia be packet sunlight wo ho nti no se wo pay free sa ho na akoko si ekwa fufuo nim na wan to bo ase anya hwe ye hwe se ka bi ba na ka bi ma utisim no no hia oni wo hia eno na obi anu betina yi emergency reverse o ko ne wo bada ti bia na bi beti benya siasa nti the AC no I hope say yare wo sem de enso fi ne de ko kopum se bosumi ikra be wu no sem penifo betina be take action se mo hu se mo aye ade no na omafo betinya cross from lane we mu dia ene mungu okota ne ye na monye ne search we mu bi o sa ha ne ye U10 to do what to bo ase traffic bi kra na mo de esi ho bra pa ne so ti de make na se
ya to ase pa ya de to ase na mpanifo na anti ase
na o ti tete because o de car ba na person o cross ko de na je say fa ne say car every Kumasi konkran no I say me amekita me kan person me cross over the other day I say me face me fa be a pedestrian say so mo pa no face car na e ba no ekita ko to me say me say car ni na atwa mo na say me cross across the other side na we no car no nya fault na bibi no by force no tisi baby a me say me dodge pedestrian na
o tua fa so mon ka fra nana
yes, we can save ourselves. Ghana agro adults we need too much. Dream. This is not the first time. I know. Ka Bobby Titin to say Stakis to nearly tuna. It was a baby. I said, yes, yeah. And go pum that bay.
Nana, ya no ase. Na kwa mi ando. Ana wadiaman wanting to buy. Di koko. Asi school kabi. Hinda grace bi. Ana kabi di akoboto na ka no de koko boto no. O man fo susu se e ya ban kra chimpanifo ibi. Eka. Ene se mofra be sensia de. Asemo. Je video no asa de oba tansi osi. O tinisio. Me be ko school aba. Araho.
Ipe mobo.
Enkuyanim.
Yo, yen free Eastern region, apoemantem na yenko enkrimantem Ghana mrasha bedwafie yenyina enche kra na yemu bia eye sabi ntrumuntu dwumadie yencheke fili e wo Ghana ha no yebo se fi se yetete free mrasha bedwam se akatom ne bro akakotowa mabia na emra no aba bedwa ama so obi koye bi ne de ko mrasha bedwam anase de ko kotoa yebetimi enya mra bi na yegina so de adi na asem no na wodi fa ya twe na so na wo bill no a enya meye mra no emu a ewo mu ama se obi ekoye bi a yetimi de koto afiase nene bill no ekọ mrasha bedwani ye wo kwan e befa so a kosi se mrasha bedwafo beje atom ansa na kosi baabi na afehwe ene na ekro no abeye emra na na ekọ mrasha bedwafie no a ka bedwafo ekohwemu age atom no hwa na owura Alexander Fenyumaken wo ye mrasha bedwam dom Kaseɛ na no ni abedi akire wo se da bi asem na enyina wonto wo bo ase ansa ne nkyeremu ene se de womu se obi kwaye LGBTQ ni bia obetumi akoda afiase no on de wanyi ntum wodnadwene kɔ hɔ a ohunu se emwa papa ba amfa ne chiki emfa so obi anhyɛ ni so safi se obi ekoye gay sebentrumuntu LGBTQ wa wo se yetimi de ko ba bi kɔ hwɛ na adwene mu rehabilitation eboa no ama ne timi free saa de no mu na ɔkɔhwɛ na duafie a ɛwɔ de ahwɛ ya na akɔye kɛse ɛwɔ hɔ.
Mr. Speaker, the essence of this motion is to afford this August House the opportunity to thoroughly consider amendments I have proposed to the bill with a view of substituting community service for incarceration. The amendments presented in this bill are motivated by a strong conviction regarding the necessity of implementing a more rehabilitative strategy in our criminal justice system, specifically with regards to the issues it tackles. Mr. Speaker, the issue before us is behavior, and it is my humble view that in dealing with behavioral matters, incarceration is not the solution. It makes the matter worse. That our court system should introduce a more humane, reformative, rehabilitative system where people who breach our law, who sin against our legislation, would have an opportunity to reform and be reintegrated. To jail a person for his sexuality or her sexuality would not be the solution in maintaining our Ghanaian family values and ensuring proper human sexual rights. Mr. Speaker, in the list, such individuals who get into our jails become worse off. Mr. Speaker, as a law student in my final year at Makola, upon visiting in Sawom with my colleagues, it became clear that inmates were being sodomized. It became clear that people were rather getting deeper into that habit and that behavioral aspect of our culture that we dislike. It is clear, and I need to emphasize without reservation, that this motion does not stem from any opposition to the bill by itself, but conversely, I wholeheartedly endorse the guiding principles and goals that inform this legislation. Nevertheless, Mr. Speaker, like I said, and for emphasis, I strongly hold the conviction that the integration of community service as an alternative to incarceration will substantially bolster the efficacy and compassion of our judicial system. I dare say, Mr. Speaker, that will be retrogressive should we insist as a house on a third reading with these incarceration provisions in the bill.
Yo, and to us who know Swan Codemono, Nana no more ne duafie bi no mo koe no omo do mani to form do maso to form tete say omo ye ne hopa nti so e be ma okọ hɔ a ene na ne to adi honhom mo ne to betue mo ana okotuetue obi to mo ana wo ye oba na okɔ ne kese wo nti eno die omo hwɛ ne yie na sponsor of the bill just say de waji emra no agina mu pa se me emra o man mu pa ye emra hye badwani Sam George wase owura fadwoma kan asem na wo ka no empusu kramo ende o ba mu gani ba
My colleague, no, well, yes. In fact, there's no argument against the second consideration stage. However, Mr. Speaker, I must say my colleague is abusing Order 171 because, Mr. Speaker, the last time he took to the floor for almost 1 hour and made the same argument, and then we ended up voting. He has not said anything new. He never said anything new today, which he didn't say even in a longer rendition. Mr. Speaker, he made a point that he will prefer, community service. And he was made to understand that as we speak, Mr. Speaker, there's no law in our country governing community service. And he says that he's talking about a bill that is being drafted. But the rules of this House are quite clear. That is not even known to this House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I hear him talk about so many things. I just draw the attention of my colleague to one of the provisions in this bill. Mr. Speaker, those who carry out surgical operations, we are talking about one of the crimes which can send you to jail, is if somebody begins to try to reassign gender. You have to be one of the brainiest people to carry out surgical operations. We are not talking about people stealing plantain. We are talking about people who are carrying out fundamental surgical operations. So is it your point that you are saying that those people should get community service? Mr. Speaker, colleagues are already in agreement for a second consideration stage. Let's do that. So we can do that. But his argument that we should go back and reconsider something that he brought up, considered and voted upon, I think is an abuse of Order 171 and should not be tolerated. But I agree with him that we can go through a second consideration stage.
Orasam Nate George.
Yo, yanko yanim na ana brase jafie badwako ya wonbu pete mun konta Public Accounts Committee akwa setra ni mu no na ewose University of Ghana Legon penifo eba be yinsem bi ano kwane a afa so ama sika huduo bi ashiri wonu anase abo wonu afi kura so emre bi o mabubu so ene ne ekeka woni ade a na numu na babeto odwase nyumaku ahodo bi atimi aka abomu a University of Ghana Legon wonum di Legon ka America chopable dollars enfiansa montasium kan na asene no wo pipi ba ko akiri po miensa 1.3 million US dollars na nyumaku no ebi ne General Legal Council afei sikakura bia ahodo bi ye kire banks bi ana telecommunication companies bi ani nyumaku ahodo mako bese oha ani aduasa miensa 133 ana aka abomu ya wonum aboabo aka bebrebe ano saade agu wonum a wonum adi University of Ghana Legon ya wonum empese wonum ebetua na enkyeremu no kakra ani se ase nyumaku ahodo yi University of Ghana Legon wonum answer asini bisu na eja wonum tete edi dwuma bi kura banks yi woma biebie nkura bata school mo campus woni ade na tuo ye woso mutua na sika woso mutua de Legon wo mutua na aboa no aba besi sabre na no ana University of Ghana management wonum yi nsema no mkirem se sika no ma ne nkamo mani abre kwambi ombefa so ombeje no ombefa so ombejeje pa.
You know that this was a point of difficulty. I set up a special task force to ensure results of these monies, and so the director, who was the co-chair, will provide the details.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the receivables, the Ghana CD ones, we have been able to recover 594,028, leaving an outstanding of 691,000 pence. With the dollar amounts, we've been able to recover 1,033,495, leaving an amount $1,161,457 for the banks, most of them in themselves.
But then there are other very institutions in here, like these telcos that are still owing, like Airtel, Tigo. I see them here. I see Taser Company also owing utilities and all that. I see Village Canteen, Tibia, and all these. Are they still owing in your books?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. These are tenants, and it's an ongoing transaction that happens on a daily basis. We are using all options. We even still work with them, pay up, and then you incur that this is what is happening, and we are following them, exploring all options. Those that are proving difficult, we have actually handed them over to the council to also inquire. We are doing all to use all options available to us.
Yo, na just a cardiac shopper, no. Ana ekuno jomtrani public accounts committee jomtrani unonya for James Kluse Aveti o chirim se the bi kwan bia so sikano e was University of Ghana Legon penifo bomodin na wonum jeje wonum den dan na aka tako se de aka sika kura bia ye di school ni ka ne nyuma kwa odo ye di wonum ka nyina no kwan bia so so mu jiska no.
My concern is that the debt should not be growing, should be what? Declining. If it's declining, it means yielding more result, better result than if it's growing. Okay, all right. So continue to make the effort to recover the money.
Wey ayo for James Klutcher Avezi ana yetini ni.
Yanko kakra ebedie Kaseɛ emu. Yeso adwuma yeni na katua efata no nti eba sa woyɛ bosom adwuma. Bosom ne so ne sika no amo a ene egi sa odon sa guuti. Teacher so oni adwuma afoforo bia no a. Na wey ama National Association of Graduate Teachers e Trinity Afra Nagrat and the Coalition of Concerned Teachers ni nyina e akyerɛkyerɛfo nkabom kuo ahodo. One the Office of the Special Prosecutor. One more katua, what an sato so, Adania. One more see ghost name CB and some DB Ababa and Kratemu, and to him, and a chacha for bear 400, Nyadi or Makatuaba. Na chacha for Kuimun penny for Sidebi, Bamugani, Bomuntiasie. Sasapa ne Conedia, again arena taba duba. One boss one watch penny for Fisaquamoya. Gida be de kill, if ye kura. Di nkwada bedie oyiri bedie okunu bedie light be ni komi nini eni ne ekeka ho ento mu gina so ama Office of the Special Prosecutor eye afiada etinifie ya se etinifie dru no musika na ama omba uso mo.
It is the view of the unions that questioning where the OSP got his authority from, and even if he does have that authority, whether it is not prudent to have informed the managers of these teachers, the employers of these teachers, that is Ghana Education Service, before directing that their salaries should be suspended. Is the OSP telling us that he has the power to direct workers not to work or direct workers not to be paid their salaries? On what basis?
Yo, enti enono ora Angel Kabonu when Nagrat president Nenuna King Ali Audu one also na president Emma Coalition of Concerned Teachers a year at your phone Kabomu Kono Bako one also edited here at Jawase court on Kwan a bit on sa at Osikaso Nenya Office of the Special Prosecutor.
The teachers were validated by their heads of institutions that are supposed to validate them, meaning that they are at post. Controller and Accountant General pays the people. Controller transfers the money to the person's bank, and then a special prosecutor goes to instruct the bank that though the person has been paid and the money has come, block the person's account. Don't allow the person to access the account. In this country, it is only the courts that have the power to garnish somebody's account.
King Ali Audu, a Coalition of Concerned Teachers, Ekono president.
Na ensamfo from owura kwadwo mpiani so akyerɛ na adwen dia fa mampani aswafo nsakyerɛmu rishafo ya wode aba no ho owura kwadwo mpiani kyerɛmu sɛ rishafo ne de amamra konsu han no mampani kwanya so wode ns woni tumi mu sɛ woyɛ obetumi ayɛ nanso won de wo twaniti ano abɔ ne tofu a ne ɔka nyina ne sɛ mmra mampani na adan kwakufu ado de rishafo ne de nyame ani mamoa enyamrepa wo so hwɛ sɛde wo ma no afi omamu ni nyina yabato aban na rishafu ya waye asoafo afoforo ya wonum ba bɛkɔ asoya ahodo asoya afoforo ne ade no fere nipa no wo kɔtra sia akosua wa ade na wate honum ne yo ne honum abrabo ase ani ho dwumadie wa hunu nani so na nipa no wonfansua no wo hunu sɛde asoya no dwumadie sitie wo hu nani so no wonte ase no na yato aba no wawie we no yakoya na ye bai to de rishafo ne de won kasa enye ne mum emre amampani na Adudan Kwaku-Fado de buy any dear.
My only concern is it the right time to have this reshuffle? That's my only concern. Otherwise, is the president's prerogative. He decides what he wants to do with his government. If he believes the changes will help him to achieve his aim, fine, you go ahead and do that. But I am thinking 8 months to an election without have any effect on the direction of government. I don't know. Maybe the president knows, or maybe those within his circle know. Those within his circle know this. But to be honest, I think the timing is the problem. Otherwise, it's his prerogative to do a reshuffle as he thinks. You have 8 months to an election. Some of these are new, completely new. Maybe you get them in place by the end of the month or the middle of next month. How are they going to be able to learn what is within the ministry? Will enable them direct the ministry in a way maybe the president wants them to do now. That's the timing I'm talking about.
Enti anu ra kwampiani nra Valentine's Day mampani na Adudan Kwaku-Fado. Valentine's gift wadema aswafo a wapamu wonum ne woni awasensan wo no ho adwenkyere ye ekokoso no na owura kwampiani wonso wa kire na adwende owura kwadwompiani wa kire na adwende afam bie ya wo kire se mra mampani de ba ye de amwakura mampani na Adudan Kwaku-Fado nso nra nso ye bio Valentine's Day na wo sha wo ma chede no 12 current ministers of state 10 cabinet ministers, 2 regional ministers. What's the Valentine's gift?
Yo, what's some yasam, one masam, maimun some yasam, and some yademo Kaseɛ and some na Park Public Accounts Committee. Eya abadwumakuo a ehwese abanyumakuo a aka ebebu nkuntapa ewo munyumadi a omudie mu. Na brano no ofro omo do omo ba abonten ene eso hu se kukuru bi ekoso odwuma mu a na oba ba yi hu ano na wobodwa na ne enyumakuo ahodo abanyumakuo no aba omo ba kire de wonom eye na owura James Kluche Aveji wono na ye Public Accounts Committee womo epanyi woso ontiase kra se etasi pa se universities ahodo suapon ahodo a eye aban edea no ekwan bi a dodo no afa so to mo nooma de broni friend procurement no dodo no entwa ye kura betina wo manim no mo busabusa se we anko ye mfa nto ha wode ato mfa mo ha wode aba omo se ofa daddy ye pa che next time ye be ni ye pa ebesan ba biam no ma san ye mistake kro no amfom so kro no am eno no so we de akoso ache dodo e wo so mo jaye.
You've been appearing here and this issue have been coming up. You always promise that you will not do it again. And you are still committing the same crime. Will you want to give me the last assurance? I hope that you will not be cited for uncommitted procurement again.
Enti wote ya na obo obi koko. Eye oba ene ne wo ho. Enti University of Ghana meka se logon for suku no ena eya na omo ho bansensam sa no. Enti Professor Nana Aba Ampia Amfo Professor Nana Aba Apia Amfo on a Vice Chancellor Emesia Poyi na nenyi so anasa na sem ono so ekaye ene sem siapon no empanifo wo mu si abrenkete wo mu konkoden se kura wo se da bio ebensi bio wo nti obeye dwumaden se de beya sade no wo hunu bio.
The challenge has to do with the nature of our business, our institution, and then also the complexities, because we operate in 4 colleges and then the central administration. We had an issue with resource also, procurement officers. Now we have procurement officers in all the colleges. We've improved upon the resource in terms of the procurement officers, decentralizing into the colleges and also the heavy duty units.
Yo, enti ochire mu se omubo adwuma omugu so hihye no mana se de asuapon no etie na friwe so na aba we so eno na ya ekofa sa ohaw no eba na so nyina mu no waje atumu a oguso a wototo enoma.
Enti ayabo shabankani ya papa ni ebedi hu adanse ade ama wo promise 102.7 ne Promise Television so pacho open kania pa chandeliers, corner light, wall light, gate light, garden light, CCTV, cables ne cameras ne mapa Kumasi Dum PZ antiata ko for den mafei wo ko ketia Dubai anim hwanso enso yesa aboho Bosheba Plaza no West Limited is in Central Prison roundabout iso Waipa FM no Waipa TV Promise TV ni Promise Radio dan mu oba niama no nkania no ne ho pempra de ya hye ne soro ene fom ne awupe bia ye de ma ne border fom electrical cables are standards authority ensa shas ye ne mo amwa ya mu fie ache ya hia sem ye rewiring no momra Bosheba nchem meje standard cables wow na monfa enkonkwe wiring no na afa jasihye bia ma niama pade insa ye ho usan ye ho awa na apɛ yenko yanim na Doma Finfri Grupa de Chiri Potamo Aban Cratch but the Doma Central Municipal Chief Executive any Ononya for Drisa Watara one worker say na waka chira man for so mko makuma ntum yempa agenda 111 ya aban no edisi na ni so ya sabia ya yesi makuma ko ha ani eduba ko no wose wonum Potamo onum de ya yesi amonum no nyankropon ya adom na se ye wie ma wonum a ne Kaseɛ kura achen Doma aya sabia na insebi wadi tujwa ebra na wobo apro ahwe wonum agenda 111 wonu de ya yesi amonum Potamo onum pempen so ya akoduro na afedi woka edi akere woni edi ho dwuma na wonuma ye nentem na woni sanjrofo ne abadwa ma assembly members wonum edi asia na problem yentie
who are not sure of this to try to visit the project site to see things for themselves so as to believe what the government is doing for the municipality. On completion, it will be a full-fledged hospital with all its component parts, nothing left out. I will never be wrong to tell you that it will be larger than the current Doma Presby Hospital. To make it more accessible, the road from Abuabu to Amazu will be properly constructed to befit the status of the hospital. We should not only be thankful but appreciate the president for this life facility. There are a lot the government is doing for us. The reconstruction of the Tuesday market under the Ghana Security Support Project is receiving a major boost with UDT 4 and 5 coming on board very soon. We only need your cooperation, especially those who will be affected by the project for a smooth implementation. It's equally true to state without any fear or doubt that it is politics that has brought this project with very good intention. Indeed, it is changing the face of development in our municipality. Hence, we should not attach political emotions to drawing back its implementation progress because at the end of it all, it is going to benefit the citizenry. Ladies and gentlemen, there are other projects that have been completed in the health and education sector where classroom blocks and chips compounds have been provided in selected communities to provide access to effective service delivery through the hard work and power of lobby of our Honorable Member of Parliament, Honorable Kakuati Mamanu.
Na wasra bedwa ma ye assembly members ya wonu Potamo wasa adawro ma wonu modin na wonum ene badwaku no enkamom to kase na kwani obefa so apre impuntu wompre.
At every level, decision making is very important in our collective effort at working to meet the needs and aspirations of our people. This can only be possible when the virtues of involvement and popular participation are properly embraced. Our people have trust in you and believe in your ability to assist as lead agents of development in the community. We equally trust you will work all out to support the Assembly and government in our delivery of services to our communities. The task ahead is quite Herculean and requires a lot of collaboration, cooperation, sacrifice, compromise, and indeed patience as we engage with different categories of developmental actors in our bid to work together to develop and then serve our people. Our people expect a lot from us. Hence, we should not fail them in this direction. The time has come for us to begin to think outside the box as to how some community challenges can be overcome by our initiatives within our own level and means. It is our responsibility.
Ononya for Drisa Watara ya woye aban Cratch pani di ma wo manfo ya wonum e wo Doma Finfri Grupa de Chiri Potamo ene niati
Bedie be ya hana be kinkane bejidi se be tie bedabase bejidi se be hwe be yibaye nyankopon enhiramu zamu gaba yanko yenanimu ye ko papa ye emom na wohwe aresabia hodo a ewo Ghana hanum a emprempi no ya na boja eho oden ma wonum so obi epre moja tu no oba kwa awo so obi mogya awie ni nyina no ya na ya asem nanso obi hia obi ansa na wa obi nti obetimi atwe mogya no atwe bi na wo de abo obi MTN Ghana Northern Sector otutu anama bi fefe ahwe ama watwe emogya wo becha ma so pete ahodo a ewo Asante Mantem habi na Northern Sector General Manager Emma MTN Ghana ene Orani Adotemengam woso mani abrepa se ombenya mogya no pem enso 7,000 units of blood no mo ache ede ama Kumase hospital awudo bi enti wo se we de eya na montuo papa enti obi a ebre bi se be so a owan hoden na ne hoden wo nkwa ti apono e wo so oba beboa no so betwe mogya ni bi ema obi
enti no one of the things that aids with healthcare so blood now over the years so voluntarily Ghanaians have donate blood no. Just about 36% of the requirement for the year. We as MTN we came in to support something like this, and we started 13 years ago, 2011. Over the years, every year no, This year, say you 6,000 units of blood, but we stretch ourselves. You better say 7,000 units. And you supporting healthcare. Ghana. The person obi yare no okọ hospital na yes open bladder. Blood bank no enough blood to give out. This year so and that's why your friend is saying Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is about love. It's about giving. And what a better way to give. Say you donate blood on Valentine's Day to help save a life. We're calling on all Ghanaians, say, on a day like this, no, say, Ubetimia, donate blood to save a life. Ghana bedawas.
MTN Northern Sector General Manager, no, Dr. Alexia Osei, one on our for not teaching hospital, baby or Jimoja, Etchimoja, no transfusion medicine unit. Wano enedano wasi de biara da de beti akokodi ko no emoja omu hia enya asam ketwa
for not here use about 80 units of blood every day for not in town yemfa other hospitals on kan nti de bia enya moja nti mo we de yentimi quantify mo ayehia pa send nipa de ayaresa na yesa ayare accident see nipa cancer for nya moja Momo call Wokra Nyamuja. Intend the hospital here so long as it's running 24/7. Moja de and Moja is a yen to me manufacture Moja. Then you're free papa. It's in the be or seeing Moja in the yes, I conscious no nothing a year papa friend for Moja. Also Moja Yobi Moja Buhonoma and BBC near Poppy near the best saving Capra Nyamuja. Oh, MTN for my idea my idea. Other corporate social responsibilities from other companies. If they come on board, because
Dr. Alexia Osei, Head of Transfusion Medicine Unit, Comfornoche Teaching Hospital.
Yeguso ya bomo Kaseɛ ɛwɔ Promise 102.7 ɛne Promise Television na so baby bia ya wɔte yɛnka ɛde efiri na wɔhwɛ yɛn efiri bia na soafo ya wɔhwɛ agriculture nsɛm so yɛkyerɛ agricultural minister wɔ onyafo Brian Echampo no wɔkasa yi ɛna wɔkyerɛm sɛ abane ɔte akonnwa so no akuyafo akoso motade yetueye na womanfo a etwifa wonum atraye ene wonum abraboso ama niema ye den dia monum na akuyafo ewom no nyaade esa aban no wayi nani dia hinta wonum okirem sa aban ne ye hyehye ne totu awdo ye aban ne pekwampa obetima fa so atumi aboa ama akuyafo a wonum so ho kan bie ewo sansu yire no emu no wonum atimi asa afrase na wonum afiri won ku adwuma ase nti niema ahodo ya ye de ye ku adwuma ne kosi bronika na agricultural input no aban bomodin na wapebinom edi ama akuyafo se beye na wonum atimi edi juma
is looking at the recovery of the farmers, ensuring that they are able to receive inputs, hopefully be able to plant successfully in the coming farming season. We are relying on NADMO and other institutions that are supporting the affected victims recover. Our focus has been so far on ensuring that we have what it takes to support them through input grants for the coming farming season. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the affected victims, we are looking at 100% support.
Ononya for Brian Champon, Anna Yatin.
Yanko apomde Kaseɛ mu ebiewe. Yeko Doma Central. Doma Central wadi juma fefe bi ama omemufo. Ene se woni a woni health insurance card no wamo mu bi. Wamo mu de ewo no so waye foforo e de ama wonom. Enam so Fred dom tre dom ema dom ekɔ hɔ a. Eye Doma Central municipal manager ema national health insurance scheme ono so ekɔ hɔ. Na dwumadie no amu na wɔtwetwe nkrofo din na no asem wasem bi ka. Asem bi ka ne se nanse watete radio so kasamfoni baby a pepesimu eba ya nkrofo e de report ekoma radio stations ne pepese no ema womo ekase ya woko hospital a ukuta insurance card na acquire sabia yesaju sika epi wo insurance card a wo no so na papa ya kiremu eye owura Felix upon yeboa a oye manager yi wa kiremu se eye enuma bi a ekoso bi ntira se de omo friend no co-payment no eno na kofa sa how ne ba no se we no betua kakra hospital no so omudi bi ma hospital de omo adro so omudi bi be ma no ne sense bi a ekeka ho ene ya emasa how no eba na nso nyina mu no nyese wote wonto so se bi esonia osi abrankate wo kunkode said the bear sa how ni nyina e be free ho
issue of co-payment and a top up say we go hospital na nka ni say you just can get so fa kakra we den fa so you say you to ho na mo bebre ya ko atia na very soon repa mo enche mre ni akire kra no sa no ma ni nyina be ba be 10 of the past e bia ye kan obi wo ha be na free radio so nko hospital ba jimska wo say wo ya aju sika number 1 evidence of payment wo ba bi no tu sika institution bia no so wo na wura na tu sika e ma receipts enti ye hwe say wo de sa receipt be den be ba krona ye ju hu sika no so no fa ho krata de bra bi kra have a drone no health insurance drug list and a drone no so but they attra ma say kokoto so the question is identity ye tria draw we ka ye attra ma say kokoto nti ye be ye follow up no ye kokodru a ne ye be hu ne ye wom ti 20 a omo tra ma say kokoto so omo ni bi was stock a e was say atowe mu ha no ye health insurance query facility no man kofa dra okotwe sa no bi ye den e de ba begu because ye tria ho ka ye beto akosusu atua nti de nti obi ba ha on stock bi na o man bi na o ka tire ne so nkwa abonten konkoto nti ukọ hospital na one to one see even treatment to credit be ma no so one to one see okwan bi so na we health insurance client nkwa dia ye office ya na wo so ba na ye ni akire na ye ne mpanimfo nkọ kasa na ye ma yie nto yie na akoma nkọ fam
Ora Felix Opoyeboa manager National Health Insurance Scheme Doma Central na ora yebo danso public relations officer kasama for Emma Ekuei ewo ho ono so etire mu se Jumedi amudi a omukwa monten so ekotwetwe manfo di renew omu case ma wo mo no enya afe no mo sha ase sensitive ab antico awo emfie 9 eni
afibia Valentine special registration ye dema ye clients a ye ne omudi juma sa afini nyina omo be ye insurance but Valentine ni dry ye say ye de oboa omo a omo ntimi nye insurance ni bi kura ti ye bo ho da ru na ya make sure say omo baba be ye insurance ni bi so that omo atimi access my friend say healthcare a omo meeting dia ko hospital nti o sha de wo kan nyina na ye special registration ye de my clients every Valentine day bia season ye episode 9 ye special registration e dey my clients ye ne omodi juma Doma Central very nice ye preparation na eso but all the say na afibia no region no ye ni first na ya tosumi afibia afi say ye di first afibia nti no nipa ne doso yes still nipa ne bebre wo ha omontimi nye but 80% of nipa na ye wo mo Doma Central ne dey etima aka say omonyina etima ye health insurance omotinde ko hospital
Customer for Emma National Health Insurance Scheme. Ni grabata wo Doma Central Crosino emono na. Sadi ya omo ye man microphone free nti. Wo mo boktre wo mudino ebi e de aseda kron man panifo e wo sana montu a Womato.
Me PCD, me shall see a cheba, me fanko hospital. I may name Miss Cana say, me cram in fanko hospital. In case it be unexpected near the Abachime Quem, but me at the Menyarenko hospital.
Fasum, there is a farmer, Brebia me poor from near snake bite, motri me free. I've a last fever, by 1 to 0 now, 1 more gem less amount. And now me book, they made my hospital prince, and so 1 treaty or more gem less amount to say.
Paso was baby, insurance and our forms in a first in the mini bin homunges. Yenny in an budget, baby or her betria, be or her wintry. Yadia beyond and obey, walk or men they know your patient tea or more gems or more to do yes.
Insurance and the panel or the boy gonna for a boy and cause insurance and credit wanka, Minjini say, as a trap plan, any budget. He say, insurance almost started and I'm maybe. I never say, me and Cansano, and I read that infant hospital brother. Be a boy, my dear, or the hospital, a boy may be free.
Yo, enti wamwa omunya faso every registration edin trewo health insurance mu womo aseda enono.
Na afimpinu ne duba akono 2011 woyo minsensam ne ade de sori wo manga na mu pa. Na nei wo wura ba ko esei ene wonso ne tuatwi. Na oye kwaduboni panipa yo wo mangana abando ya peniatna ye chief state attorney at the office of attorney general Ora Samuel Nekwe Tete wana sabre ye general legal counsel alo ya fonka bunku batan wonuma gina tukuo wonuma sigina ye se papa no wonuma twani dim e de afiri ado ya fo dwumadiem e wo manganam wenti botoka sem ye se ya this bar no eje se ka ne sa no a wontumi anya lawyer e wo mangana mu biem ne nkwa na nyina lawyer adwuma no aba na wieye o manganam na sobo anase de enti ama onumatu sa na mo no nkire mu a avimpinu ene aduonu ba ko 2011 ebra woyomi de wo mangana kokoto ni ade no papa yi nana ejina mu ama wo mangana eje se wona na wo ye defense edema state wo man no na enu na marebo a ondi betu dwom kire mu a sabrenum papa no sei ema sikabi ya transfer sikabi de kokoto efri woyomi accountum akoto wono ne yire accountum ya na ye o mangana ye sidi fufrei ne ye o pepe nan mpem a nan mum 400,000 Ghana cedis sabre no efri woyomi enchen kokoto ne yire accountum ye bisa anse dwuma ben no ye ma woyomi ye anu nti sasika no wodi tua ne ka anase efri woyomi nchen na abo no ne ho akoto ne yire accountum besi sabre ontimi nya no nwie no nsi yo onko fie no onko to aso enti ye general legal counsel the oya trofo edema wonum we kra the judicial secretary Justice Cynthia Pamela Cranton ana ne nsase nkrata ase ana ondi aba mountain so ya de omde babetu dwa no onkyerem se papa no onuma disbar no kyerɛ se yi na firi ado ya foku num eno nti ontumi mfra no ho lawyer na ibiem ontumi nya lawyer dwuma biem ontumi nkonkodwutwo obi court biem eno ano odi apem
yanko amanone ensem emue South Africa minor wamo bambofo ede abetu dwase asrafo bi omosoma wamo so wamo ko Democratic Republic of Congo enko boa no wamo nkontia etutrafo a asori ewo ho no emumienu eja bi aka wamo amoato nananum ewo nsedo a meka sei wamo nida kotomojamo enkra no ekire se enya asrafo mienu pe no mo kan ebiso prade eden a Wamudu wamo akwa Goma Medical Hospital a wamo kwa akwa he wamo ewo honomo na emu na mpanifo asa atoa so abeka se enye so wama pa aba womu na nsia mpo wamo de ato bedwaseda wamo de ato monten se asrafo empimienu ahankro 2900 wamo so wamo amomako Eastern Congo Congo minor epo ye femu amomako akọbo wamo akon etutrafo ye wa he ya tete se Congo manimu etutra forsa atwom etutra domo a ewo ho no mo mkukura kutakura eye etuo ni ade no ebro be waha aduonu 120 armed groups ene wo ho a emu ba ko a from M23 ne so mo de wo madwene bone pa nya sabketo a wo mo ne omanfo edi esie e wo mam titru oman no asrafo ne esese etutra for M23 no eye Rwanda asojafo bi ene hye kira omomo atuduro ene akonde a omanya ahode a pompomfe a omodi nyamransem ewo Congo Manmeche Democratic Republic of Congo ho
na Palestinian ni Israel sensem no say amanebo ya enso aba betodwa echiremu adwumaku ya wondin ene Medicine Sans Frontiers sabre wonsi wondwumani baako wonum hu na kira kwan na be donhwere aduonu na ye kire topa ye bia pa ye ne ade be sabre wonum hu na kira kwan topa ye ne to Nasser Medical Hospital na anumu no ana adwumako no panifo ade akwakoto X akane feda so ya wonsam ya wonum ekane se ese aye hu dia mo no pa afrise apomdi adwumafo adokotafo ane wonum adwumafo ya na ewo Nasser Medical Hospital wonum no akwakoba se wo so obi adwane na woje ne kra nkwanti ayafo ne kra no a na wonum hwe onum no yese no owuo na eba no wonum adwane agya ayafo ne wokra akọ akwakoba bia sha wonum dwumani baako wonum ensede hunu ba bia wone nam na no ana wom kirim se wom se Israel man ade tu dwa se apomdi adwumafo no betimi akoso a awo bia ho adi wonum dwuma na se wonum ayom adwuma ya biboni bia nsie ni ade na enso bra oni o madwen se pese o mu hwe no mbua ne ade no na ebinum kura nso pese onum efiri asabia ho no Israelfo no bebo checkpoint bia ni oduru ho no a ni screening wo pese ofiri ho ani ade na aka obi ama Israelfo no akire wonum nipa baako ade no asie kwasi bro baka se onum detain no na no no nsi ba bia wo bia no onum sre adawroma se ne bambo ehia papa anunti wonum esrese adwobre
Yanko Palestine Israel Gaza po kekra ensansam no emum enkuntabua aba ene sansam trofo a afi atwa mu 2023 ni mu no wo mu free mu no chese eye ediokronkron na emu ediosom mienu 72 no de wo mu eye Palestine for na womo ejina Gaza mpapra ne so ho ba bia na womo to nkra ama ensemtwerefo no se e won ensemtwerefo dwuma ye ene wuo efri Gaza mpapra so no mu no anase mpo ku bi eti sa mu no afi atwa mu 2023 no de ombeka se aye hu pa nenka ensemtwerefo a omukofa ensemble omuwuo e wo madwuma so no yese brano na ekofom kakrakra na so afi atwa mu no Gaza mpapra so Israel ne Palestine fo popo no a esi ye ne de amana baye adetwa mu ho no a akoye osunko a areho nko a enti ne nyina mu no so de kɔ wahamu abupan mu a ne nyina ye wahamu abupan aduoso enu Palestine fo a omafiri mu no 75% wose we ehu pa enam hu a aye hu wo Gaza mpapra so no nti ensamtrofo yesisi wo mo se emom nkoho enkoto nkra bia emfiri ho emmabie mu ahwe ya na brichie kase bi akofiri wo aba nanso wo busa se Israel Gaza mpapra so Palestine sensem yebete honom asem a aje sensentwani ni wadue mu akohye mu akọ honom ba bia ho no akofa asem no aba esa no ebede ye hu de ekoso ewo wiasem de ekoso ewo Gaza mpapra no so no so obesoma sensentwani bi akọ ho a je se bambo a emu odin aje se Israel akofo no Israel soldiers abon ho ban akọ ho na kwaye Palestine fo de a lalai ahwe a wu koyi ye kofa ho ne akopra akodi wawu akokon ahwe a no ansa ma wabusuafo ho bieu
Ingresi abrochimam UK ni yegiran na etiawa amane boy ya betodwa ene se ese Ingresi abrochimam UK wonsi gasem ne de atia sign achi kwasi broni beka se it's in recess ejira se atia fa so kura ya wo manu kodontodie mu papa amambo kiremo ese wo manfo nse da nto ade sa adokota fo tie atua esuku mo fra nyina akura tie atua kire se suku ko wonum antai enko account bi ama sei amabo no say afra say no ene de ba besi kitansa July bosome no ene bobosome no mfimfo no ba bi de na wo man sikasem na nya kura ya na wonum enim say ebia ebeti akofom kura emu obupan we achiri pomiensa na so ekoten sa kura ekotra sa no na aka bi ama sei woni ebu nkonta sikasem to toya ho wonum adi wonum ani abu asusuo se afie wo mu yi ane ne family no ye di kan ye first 2 quarters no se English man wonum sikasem anshas ye se enyini na epusupusu ne ho a ane na kire se no ano ebeto amene mu se kurunkron na dodo nso mbisa se nya bia owura Rishi Sunak sabre wono ne boshe ya ode ba yese wo ba be nyini English man wonum sikasem amane matumi akoyie no anya bia akosi sen na ede na ato no obi ahunu ne yakoso obi na aban no nso ma monten so ma kire kwane omumfa so na wonum atimi ahwe ama o man sikasem ya eco research na eti asan na kire no asan aba no animu anu tie sei aye the case is potchum tell say English man wonum wasem bonipo.
They have a matter to potchum. Yo, yedi Kaseɛ no ebesi ha. Ni akofie, yakope bresu anom. Yesode a yenyam ho. Ye change over, you move over. You made your fufro take over. Edimba cross over. Na Priscilla ewa ha.
Tonso beauty queen.
Isi buama ewa ha. Ekwefriye ewa ha DJ Shobati ewa ha. Ora Emmanuel Korea cha wono ene yensamufo
ora wai
Emmanuel Korea Edro nyumre se ana o battery na charge ba no pa no me ajike grag kan ko low battery nti aje
no bra na ko low battery
ko low battery
mo Emmanuel Korea
wa yonko se be adwuma se be